Joe, this week, Ohio State self-reported some stuff in reference to some recruiting violations. Make of it what you will, good sir.
Yeah, I was trying to stir things a little bit at the beginning of the show by saying like, "Oh, are they getting away with things? Are they violating NCAA rules? Are they basically Michigan?" No, they're not. I'm a little sad Elks isn't here because Elks would be losing his mind if we did that the whole show. The things that were self-reported was that a coach commented on Caleb Downs' post when he committed, and that had to get taken down. They used a sled in winter workouts. One of the coaches, I think it was Brian Hartline, sent Pac-Man Jones an edit of their son, or not his son, Chris Henry Jr., who he is a guardian of, sent him a picture, but he's only a junior, so that's illegal per NCAA rules. And then the boosters of a number of boosters at Ohio State took a picture with a recruit, and they took it down because they're not supposed to do that. None of these things are bad. There's nothing wrong with any of these things. I think the Pac-Man thing, and I think that the commenting on Caleb Downs' post is stupid that that's even a rule. The booster thing, we can maybe make an argument for, that they're not really supposed to be in contact with them, and why are they even taking pictures with recruits? But I'm not really worried.
Why are they flying them on planes?
I knew you were going to say that.
I mean, like... I don't know what to tell you anymore. Like, I'm there. Self-report it. Don't self-report it. Can I just be honest with you?
Okay.
Excuse my language. I just don't give a more because I look at, Joe, what they going to do? They're going to hit him with a scholarship. They're going to hit him with a fine. What are they going to do? Because the booster thing, which is the biggest of them all, okay, it doesn't matter anymore. So you want to say, oh, they self-reported, they did this, they did that. It does not matter anymore.
Yeah, that's the whole point.
And they are doing this to save face, do whatever. Hey, just self-report it. We'll sleep it under the rug. No real big deal. It is what it is. Okay, everybody's fine and dandy. Whoopity frickety do. Joe, they don't have the power right now to do anything. This is going to be kicked. We're not, Joe, we probably won't even talk about this. We won't talk about it. This is as much as a non-story now because of the Nico Iamaleava situation than anything.
Yeah.
I don't know why people like everybody's like, oh no, nothing's gonna happen. No shit, nothing's gonna happen.
But
here's the thing though. Here's the God's honest truth. It's not going to stop them.
What do you mean by that?
Ohio State is going to continue, which, by the way, they made a massive move this week, hiring Sam Petito. All right, let me start off with this. They can self-report all they want because help is on the way. Help is here. I don't think they understand what they just got in Sam Petito, by the way. Georgia, Alabama, now at Ohio State. He's been a part of all three dynasty runs. All I'm saying here is this. What do you want me to do? Joe, I don't, unless it's so bad to talk about, I don't know if I want to even talk about the NCAA in these violations anymore because nothing can come of it. And everybody, I told you so, here we are. I am sorry to every Big Ten. Let me tell you what I'm sorry for. I am sorry for every Big Ten school, okay, that does not have the luxury of getting that booster to do something like that, and you're working your ass off. I'm sorry to Rutgers. I'm sorry to all these people. And it is what it is. You can't help it. But if Rutgers does this and gets caught, oh, did you see what happened at Rutgers? It's so, like, we got to have law and order. We can't keep running around like a kid with a diaper off.
Well, that's what I was going to say is that you're saying the quiet part out loud, which is, okay, they self-reported these things. It doesn't mean anything. They're not going to really get held accountable for anything that they did because at the end of the day, I think a lot of these programs are going to continue to just do whatever they want And if they really feel necessary, they can just go and self-report and they can just get it out there, get it out in the open and move on. I agree with you. And this all stems from what I said the other day, that Charlie Baker, by not being more direct in saying and enacting and building out rules of what you cannot and can do in the recruiting game, and then moving forward and saying, we're going to enforce these things starting from today on, because he chose to take the route that he did. Now we're just going backwards. More and more things are going to become more and more acceptable. Yeah, I mean, you told me after the show on Monday that a coach told you that it makes things so much harder for him as a recruiter. Damn right. Yeah.
And so, like, Joe, again, you got the Attorney General of Tennessee admitting on a show today that Tennessee violated the rule. Like, look, they are called red-handed. We don't agree with the ruling with the new antitrust and NIL law, all that kind of stuff. That is their basis. Joe, if this would have been a typical recruiting violation that they were hitting them on instead of NIL, right, and said, look, we, based off your state, based off everything, this is what we say and this is what our rules are, then it would have been a whole different story. We could have had a conversation about this. Mm-hmm. I agree with you on the Charlie Baker thing. It doesn't stop that it's pay for play. Joe, he legitimately on Crane and Company today said it was pay for play. Those words were discussed. So, again, like, what do we do? If you
we just wait, man. It sucks. It's so stupid.
But let me ask you this question: how are you going to get anything resolved when the courts keep shutting everything down?
The NCAA did this to themselves. That's been my argument the whole time. They dug themselves a hole.
Well,
they dug themselves a hole.
They couldn't stop a case that was in the Supreme Court. Like, when actually this isn't the NCAA. Can I tell you something? Can I make a bold statement here?
Okay.
Can I tell you why it's not the NCAA's fault?
Why?
Because they actually had guidelines and rules. Okay. Now, amateurism was their fault. And you can't not say that it wasn't. People not being able to get paid, players not being able to get paid. Yes, I 1,000% agree with you. But the letter of the law and how they did things, EA Sports is actually the people to blame.
What? How?
Because of the Ed O'Bannon case. Ed O'Bannon, in the beginning of all of this, said that he would take $1 million in a settlement, and EA Sports said no. So they can't stop a Supreme Court. How could they stop that?
I mean, if we really want to go down, the line of, progress here. Yeah, I mean, we could point back to that. I just still think that the NCAA.
What do you want them to do? They can't make a ruling on that case. Let me ask you this question: what preemptive things could they have done that people could not have taken them to court on, which is what they did, and get sued over it?
But okay, this is what I've been trying to get at. Their decision to investigate when there are so many better I know we got to get out of here in a second, but there's so many strategic, actual better moves in order to rebuild the foundation of the sport that should have been the focus instead of spending time and resources on investigating teams. By investigating, you're automatically
investigate
teams. You're investigating automatically antagonizes and points the finger at schools, and of course they're going to react like a scared animal. I know that's probably not the best wordage, but like they're gonna get freaked out. They're gonna be like, "Oh my god, what did we do wrong?" Like we're gonna fight back. We're not gonna just take this. At the end of the day, I mean, like it's gone as far as if you've listened to some of the NCAA's arguments where, well, a lot of people, the thing that they love about our sport is that we're not paying the athletes. Like, well, that's the problem. That legally, if you bring that up in court, is not going to go the way that you want it to. And they need to start moving past that and stop using that as background as, well, this is what we used to do and this is why people like the sport. They need to find a forward-thinking plan and enact it and build it and go forward with it. Otherwise, we're going to get even more nonsense, and then the conferences are going to separate.
This is why we need a commissioner to have this battle.
Yeah.
Right? Like, Joe, I guarantee you I could walk into court right now before we get out of here and explain to a judge more articulate, or say the word, and I'm even struggling articulately that this is what you have to do. Everybody's got to have some guidelines. You got to have rules. Okay. If we want to work on a collective bargaining agreement in reference to payment, sure. But we have to have temporary rules. And you're going to have to today give us this one temporary rule so that life can continue to go on and we don't have all mad chaos. And if a judge says no to that, then shame on them. They need to get their hoo-haws chopped off because you're ruining the sport that I love, you son of a biot.
BetOnline remains your top spot for all of your live betting action and contests. NFL, college football, UFC, NHL are all in full swing. BetOnline is your number one source for wagering news, odds, trends, and predictions with both desktop and mobile access at any time. Head to BetOnline today and use promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, for 50% off your first deposit. That is a 50% welcome bonus. BetOnline, where the game starts.